We've got the actual Canon EOS R7 and Canon EOS R10 specs, thanks due to an early release of a video review of the two cameras. Details coming up, but first I encourage you to subscribe and choose all notifications so you're kept informed on the latest camera gear, news, and rumors. Pangolin Wildlife Photography has released their video reviews of pre-production Canon EOS R5 and Canon EOS R10 units before Canon's official announcement. As such, we have better images of the camera and the specs are better than the leaked specs. All right, without further ado, let's get to the specifications of the Canon EOS R7. Now these are reviews of the pre-production units, but the specifications, well, they're not going to change from a pre-production unit to a production unit. Now how the camera handles might change. And before I get into the actual specifications, there is a new control dial and it is in a different position, and that might take a little bit of getting used to. But when we dive into these specifications, they're actually better than what the rumors actually put them out to be. Now the rumors were correct in most cases. And so first of all, let's take a look at that sensor. The Canon EOS R7 does have a 32.5 megapixel sensor. It's not backside illuminated and it's not stacked. We do get dual pixel autofocus version 2. So that's the same version that's in the Canon EOS R5 and R6. And it's good to -5 EV. Let's get right to continuous shooting. So the rumors were correct. 15 frames per second mechanical and 30 frames per second electronic. But what the rumors didn't mention, and this is what I talked about before, the devil's in the details. We have some information, but not the complete picture. Electronic is 12-bit RAW, whereas mechanical is 14-bit RAW. So there's a difference why you might want to use either one of those. Now, in terms of the LCD, it is a 1.6 million dot LCD. There's no mention on the EVF. I didn't watch enough of the video to get to that. The R7 does have IBIS, and the shutter is 1/8,000th of a shutter. And you wait till we get to the R10, you'll notice there's a slight difference there. It does have dual SD card slots, and they are UHS 2. And the battery, it's the same as the R5 and the R6, which the R10 is using a slightly different battery. And one of you picked that up when we were looking at the images earlier on, so really good job on that. As far as weight, it's lighter than the rumors, so it's 560 grams. Now that didn't mention whether it was with the battery inside or not, but still that wouldn't add too much to it. I think the rumors had it right around 612, 620 grams. The flip screen, we got that traditional flip screen that on all the R system cameras have, and it's got the same menu system that we've all gotten used to. And now I want to talk to you about the video specs, and I'm really happy about these video specs. When I talked about them earlier today, and over the past couple of weeks, we were talking about 4K up to 60 frames per second. And yes, it can do 4K up to 60 frames per second in cropped mode. Hold on a minute, 4K 60s crop mode. However, if you're willing to shoot in the basic frame rates of 24, 25, and 30, this is really good news. You get 7K oversampled 4K up to 30 frames per second. And I'm gonna hit you with something really powerful right now. No record limit. Are you ready for that? No record limit. No 30-minute record limit. Can you believe that? I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. It does have Canon Log 3, and that's another moment where we need to sort of sit back, pause, and relax and go like, wow, Canon Log 3 on an APS-C camera. On a Canon APS-C camera, we've got a log profile, and it's Canon Log 3. And if I was to choose the best log profile for me in my usage and editing, ease of use, the ability to protect the shadows and the highlights, I gotta say that Canon Log 3 is the easiest one to edit, and it's the one that I enjoy absolutely the most. We've also got 120 frames per second in 1080, but wow, 7K oversample 4K. That makes a really huge difference. The Canon EOS R5 has 8K oversampled 4K. To get 7K oversampled 4K on an APS-C camera with a 32.5 megapixel sensor, I think that's a big deal. So this camera is going to have plenty of throughput with the Digic-X processor inside. This is shaping up to be a pretty decent camera. The only thing I don't have at this point is the price. Although I might have that by the time I go into editing, and if so, I'm going to put it right up, well, probably right here, where I'm saying I don't know the price. I'll flash the price there. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to knowing what the price is on this camera. So the Canon EOS R7, I think, is a whole lot better than we initially anticipated. You know, I get they've changed the layout a little bit, and I know a lot of people got really upset over the Canon EOS R and that little slider button thingy up at the top. I'm not exactly sure what to call that because it was part slider, but it reacted to the sensitivity of your finger. I didn't personally like it, but some people did. Canon got rid of that. So this placement of the dial and some of the buttons are a little bit different. But now it's time to take a look at the Canon EOS R10. And this is an interesting camera as well. It has a 24 megapixel sensor, same as that found in the M50. Well, I don't know exactly if it's 100% identical to it, but in terms of the megapixel, it's the same. It does support dual pixel autofocus too, though. Again, same as the R5 and the R6. Does 12 frames per second mechanical in 14-bit RAW and 23 frames per second electronic. So it's pretty good there as well. 1.6 million dot LCD, no mention on the EVF in the video, no mention of IBIS, and it does mention that the autofocus is good to -4 EV. In terms of the shutter, not as good as the R7, 1/4000th of a second. It does have a single SD card slot. It is UHS 2, and the battery, it's not the same one in the R5 and the R6. It's the LPE17 battery. But now taking a look at the video specifications, and again, they're a little bit better than we anticipated. 4K 60 with a crop, but 4K 30 uncropped. It's got a 6K oversampled 4K, which is really good news. And of course, that's up to 24, 25, and 30 frames per second. So the video specs are pretty good. This is one of the things I talked about in the previous videos. We don't have the problem with leaked specifications. Even if they're accurate, they don't give us the full picture. And even here with these specifications, I don't have that full list that we normally get with an announcement because this is not Canon's official announcement. These are coming from review videos, so all we have is what's in the review video, and we don't yet have Canon announcement. And just before, do we have it now? Nope, my wife is home, so we might hear some noises upstairs. So we don't have the full specifications. We don't have the full details, but what we do have here is more than we had before and is 100% guaranteed this is what we've got. So to have 6K oversampled 4K, that's really good news. So we got more detailed 4K. This is looking really, really good. 120 frames per second in 1080. But no Canon log. But while we don't have Canon log, that 30-minute record limit, it's gone. Can you believe it? No 30-minute record limit in the R10 as well. It looks like Canon's turning over a new leaf. It looks like they're really listening to us. The R5C, I get it. Not having a record limit makes sense on that camera, but not having it on these two cameras, they cost less than the R5 and R6. I'm pretty happy about that. And the weight of this little guy? 430 grams. Again, I don't have the price as yet, and if I get the price in editing, I'll put it right here. And if, of course, that price is much better than I thought, I might just go ahead and come down here and record another piece talking to the price, but I'm pretty staggered. Okay, I've already talked for about 14 minutes. So listen, I want to wrap this up so you guys can get this first. But if you want to stay up to date on the latest camera news and rumors, go ahead and subscribe, but make sure you choose all notifications, because by choosing all notifications, as soon as I publish a video, you're going to get notified, so that way you can be the first to be in the know of all the latest camera gear and rumors. And yes, I'm leaving a few mistakes in here because I want to quickly get this recorded, get it out there, so you guys can be the first. My channel, I've broken many stories on the Canon EOS R10 and R7, getting the information out there before anybody else, and I want to try to do that again here. With this video here. So I'm really excited about these specifications and getting them to you. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you disappointed in these specs, or are they actually better than you thought? Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again soon.